breathe. Those words rang out in the streets of New York City and across the country this week, words on the lips of thousands of angry protesters. The man who spoke those words with his last breath, Eric Garner, who was selling cigarettes illegally on a Staten Island street corner when police arrested him, brought him down, and many believe killed him. This terrible video is disturbing to all of us, including police officers. We've talked to many who are sickened by it, but at the same time, it has eroded the trust that people feel for cops. New York's Mayor Bill de Blasio talked about how some people fear the very cops they look to for security.
So I've had to worry over the years. Charlene's had to worry. Was Dante safe each night? There are so many families in this city who feel that each and every night. Is my child safe? And not just from some of the painful reality of crime and violence in some of our neighborhoods, but are they safe from the very people they want to have faith in as their protectors?
Now that thousands of people are taking to the streets each night, NYPD officers are standing down. Most of the time, they're simply watching as protesters take over major thoroughfares and walk through traffic. The head of their union says the mayor is betraying his own police force.
What police officers felt yesterday after that press conference is that they were thrown under the bus. That they were out there doing a difficult job in the middle of the night, protecting the rights of those to protest, protecting our sons and daughters, and the mayor was behind microphones like this, throwing them under the bus.
Many cops are wondering, when did we stop being the good guys and become the villains? And how do we react now when someone we need to arrest fights back? How far do we go? And are we now in danger? Joining me now to drill down on that question is Harry Houck. He's a retired NYPD detective. We can all agree something went terribly wrong in the Garner case.
Without a doubt, yes.
So the question I now have, though, because to get beyond the kumbaya, and I'm not being dismissive of the goodwill that's out there, but I'm not hearing specifics that would tell someone who's done what you've done for a living, what do you do the next time?
Exactly. And what's going to happen here is that police officers are going to think twice, maybe even three times before they take action because of something like this that happened. Now, this has turned into a racial issue where it is not a racial issue. And police officers know that when people like Al Sharpton and his kind, all right, go around pointing fingers at the police officers and second-guessing them, all right, saying that they did something wrong when there's no evidence, and the grand jury has said this. And the grand jury knows a lot more about this case than you and I do. And I've been working on this case for 4 days now, all right, that the police officers acted properly in this case. But there's so many lies out there, all right, that are being spewed out there to the public, all right, making the police officers look good and bad.
I noticed something, Detective, different, though, I have to say, about Garner and about the Tamir Rice case in Cleveland, the 10-year-old boy who was shot, as compared to Trayvon Martin and the Ferguson case. By day, I'm a talk radio host. People call me from all across the country and they offer opinions. I could usually pick up the intonation of your voice. Is it a white person or an African-American? And know what you were going to say about these cases. Garner's different. Tamir Rice is different. Now I'm getting whites and blacks who are saying something's terribly gone wrong here and it needs to get reined in. I want to go back to my question. If, God forbid, tomorrow you responded to a situation like that, you got a 6'4" guy, 360 pounds, what are you going to do?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm doing the same thing. I would, okay? But the police officers out there now, would they? I don't know. They're going to be sitting there thinking, maybe I should have a conversation with this guy. Listen, the longer you talk to somebody who you place under arrest, all right, the more of a chance there is of you getting injured. There have been police officers killed in the line of duty for minor little things that you think, well, you know, why are you bothering me? It's a minor thing. Why are you going after this guy because he's selling cigarettes? Because it's against the law. The police officers were out there, okay? And like I had said before, and like another officer said before, when a police officer tells you you're under arrest, it's not a suggestion, all right? You are under arrest. You must comply with that officer. The whole thing here is Mr. Garner would be alive today if he turned around and put his hands behind his back. He knows the drill. All right, he'd been arrested 30 times before for the same thing. He knows what he's got to go through.
But arguably, he'd be alive today if the police officer had responded when he said, I can't breathe 11 times. If he, after the third time he said it, if he'd stopped with the chokehold or whatever it was, the guy arguably would be alive.
I don't know that. You don't know that for sure. All right, the fact that he had pre-existing pre-existing conditions, all right, asthma, he had a heart condition, all right, we don't know that for a fact, that he would be alive for that way. But the whole thing is that once somebody takes an aggressive stance saying, you're not taking me, I'm not going to be taken under arrest anymore. As a police officer, you need to respond to that because now it's an aggressive stance against me.
Quick,
I want to go home tonight.
Understand, and I want you to go home. Quick
Right.
final question. The New York Times on Friday, lead editorial said it's time to rethink the broken windows enforcement policy. Don't get so caught up in the minor stuff, like this guy selling cigarettes. You agree or disagree?
Are they blind? It works. It worked. Look what happened to Giuliani administration when Bill Bratton came.
You think it's all causally connected?
Listen, I was a cop real quick in 1982 when I first came on the job. We weren't allowed to make drug arrests because they were afraid of us taking money. And look how the crime was in the 80s. It was insane.
Harry Houck, thank you.